The problem in our neck of the woods is the cold weather.
Let's check in with John right now and find out just how cold it's going to get tonight. Any changes since earlier this afternoon?
Well, I wish I could say yes, but you got to hang in there because when we get to the 5-day, you'll see some much more welcome weather
Relief,
coming up in our forecast. But let's talk records here. We set a record low in Louisville this morning with a temperature at 10 degrees below zero for this morning. All right, so 10 below this morning. Now the record for tomorrow morning is running at 14 degrees below zero. And it looks like we may break that record also. As we mentioned earlier, the lowest temperature ever in Louisville at 20 degrees below zero. Right now, current reading at 6 degrees below, with the wind chill running at 41 below at this point, and the winds remain gusty. Let's go to the weather map here, and we will show you temperatures around Kentucky and Indiana at this point. 6 below here and in Lexington, -7 Cincinnati, -11 at Indianapolis. This is not wind chills. These are temperatures we're talking about here. Lafayette at 12 below. Dayton, the coldest, at 13 below right now. And again, you got to remember, we're very early evening, actually late afternoon. Temperatures will continue to slide very rapidly this evening. Now, here's how the wind chills look at this hour. 41 below here in Louisville, 23 below Lexington, Cincinnati 44 below. This 49 below is Bloomington, 54 below at Indy. Lafayette, the coldest in the region for the wind chill, at 58 below right now, and temperatures will drop to around 20 below from Dayton through Indianapolis up to near Chicago down to near Louisville for tonight. Here's the forecast. Wind chill advisory remains in effect. 10 to 15 below in the city, 17 to 23 below in the suburbs, out in the countryside. For tomorrow, increasing clouds. We're going to get a quick shot of some snow in here in the afternoon and evening. Any accumulations will be relatively minor, high of 13. And then the 5-day, 20s Thursday, 30s Friday, 40s Saturday, and believe it or not, we will be in the 50s by Sunday. Be there.
It's hard to believe, but it's good news.
Certainly is. Best news we've had in a long time.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
All right.
As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the governor has banned traffic on interstates and secondary road systems except for emergency vehicles or those carrying food, agricultural products, or home heating fuel. That means gasoline tankers can't travel, and that could be a problem. Wave 3's Melanie Bullard joins us live tonight from a gas station where there is concern the underground tanks could go dry. Melanie?
Alan, that is a very real concern for a lot of oil companies. The governor's logic behind banning the gas tankers on the highways is, of course, the hazard should one of them have an accident. But the oil companies in and around Louisville had a very real concern of their own. They said, hey, wait a minute, we are part of the solution to getting this mess off of the roads because we provide the gas to emergency services vehicles as well as to public entities like LG&E. In other words, if you want those down power lines fixed, you've got to give us the opportunity to get the gas to the LG&E trucks. So late this afternoon, Thornton's Oil and some of the other oil companies went to the county. Dave Armstrong went to the governor and said, we got to get gas in. The governor said, okay, permits were issued to those oil companies only who have contracts with the city and the county to provide the gasoline. As you can see behind me, a lot of people are starting to get gasoline now because some of the secondary roads are opening up. The more people who get out and drive and need gasoline, the quicker those underground storage tanks are going to empty out. Usually gas stations have to fill up their underground storage tanks 1 or 2 days a week, well, probably 2 to 4 days a week, every 1 or 2 days. So only those oil companies that have the permits are going to be able to do that. So drivers could run into a bit of a problem if the governor's ban isn't lifted. I want to introduce you right now to Dick Snyder. He is Vice President of Corporate Communications. When I spoke with you this afternoon, you were very concerned.
Yes, I was. At that time, we were looking at prohibition of hauling fuel that didn't really make a lot of sense to us. The logic behind it is very sound, but in this case, it needed to be lifted, and it was.
It is amazing what people call about. We were playing the music behind the closings, and one of them, for you all listening, CD, was When Harry Met Sally, and the other one is...
The other one's from the Rusty Spoon Blues Band. This is a local group, as a matter of fact. Cuts 4 and 14. 4 is South End Shuffle, and 14 is Blue Tangle. Apparently, we've got a lot of calls to the
about
switchboard.
the music. Well, we're glad you like it.
So
you may not like the weather, but you like the
I'm going to say,
CDs.
I'm glad they stopped calling complaining about the weather.
Yeah, they're going to call that the CDs.
We've hit a bright spot there with the music.
And things are going to get better.
Yeah, look, in fact, I want to show you a couple of maps here to show you what to look forward to the next few days. Now, it's cold across a big chunk of the country. Only the southwest and the southeast above the 50-degree mark today. In fact, even Florida not all that warm. 70 at Miami, Orlando in the 50s today. Now, watch what happens. Look at that. This is Well, this is by Sunday. I forgot to put the Sunday label there, but this is by Sunday, how much of the country above the 50-degree mark.
Wow.
So it's the January thaw that is moving in. Just about everybody will be warming up, and it'll just be a big slushy mess coming up this weekend.
I wonder about the potential for flooding. I shouldn't even bring.
We're not going to worry about that.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
sure there'll be rises. If we can get through this melting snow without any big rain systems coming in, I think we'll be okay.
And it looks pretty good
as
right
of
now?
right now, it looks fairly dry, so that's good.
We will take it anytime.
Not going to complain.
Thanks,
Thank you, John. People in the Portland neighborhood may have thought they were seeing the Loch Ness Monster today. This serpent emerged from the snow in Steve Farmer's front yard yesterday. Actually, Steve and his friends had the day off from work, so they built the creature using tons of snow and 4 packs of food coloring. The artists have a word of advice for any other would-be sculptors. Wait till it warms up just a little bit.
I can imagine there are going to be some great snowmen out there before this one's over with.
If it would warm up a little.
Yeah.
And our coverage of Winter Storm 94 will continue.
Stay with us for Wave 3 News coming up at 6.